Welcome to another episode of Legion Elite Motorsports. I'm your host, Isaiah. And on today's episode, we are going to welcome in a new car, getting some basic maintenance done, you know what I mean? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So in today's episode, we're going to start working on replacing the head because we do have a blown head gasket. And in the future, we're going to be knocking out some suspension, cleaning out gas tanks, doing the fuel pump, tranny pan, you name it. We're going to dive in. So let's enjoy these episodes. Here we go. So we got another Starion in. This one's been sitting for a while. Reason it was sitting for a while is because she blew a head gasket. So this was all original, not too many mods done or anything like that. This one was brought all the way from PA. So we're gonna start putting some work into this guy here. And let's take a look at what we're working with. Okay, got a little intake here. Looks like we got a 1G MAF, boost controller, upper pipe, blow-off valve. Couple goodies, not bad, not bad. Let's see, but end game, we're gonna have to fix this blown head gasket issue. And we're going to do that by changing out this head. From what I understand, this head is a jet valve head. So, you know, they're prone to cracking. This one is 88 or 89, so we don't have the ignition problem, which is great. Also, because it's been sitting, we're going to have to dive into the fuel. Make sure that the gas tank is happy. Swap out the pump. Also, we're going to get rid of this almost 40-year-old suspension. And we actually are going to raise it up because where this car lives, let me put the hood prop up. Okay, there we go. Where this car lives, there's a lot of potholes. And, you know, in order to clear it, you definitely have to have your car up a little bit. So we're gonna raise it and also have it to where we're able to have it handle at the same time. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So first things first, I see we have no blow-off valve happening. Petrified silicone hose. We do need to get the engine on top dead center. We're going to get the cap off so we know when we are exactly on top dead center. We're going to start unplugging a couple things so we can get this head off, including the downpipe. We're going to get the feed line, water line on both sides, the return line, which is down here. We're gonna take this AC compressor tensioner off, dipstick off the intake manifold, that's another one. Yeah, we're just gonna go through it. Gonna take this overpipe off and yep, get started. Okay, so we got the intake pipe off, we have the charge pipe off, we have the boost controller off, we have the AC belt off, the tensioner off, we put the screws back so we don't lose it. We have the vacuum line to the distributor off. It's short, so you can't mistake that. We got the distributor cap off, which is right there. We got the vacuum line for the valve cover off. We got the lines loose back here. I have one of them off, the other one's being a little difficult. We'll get it off. I marked the injector plugs to make sure we don't get them mixed up. So that's very important. You make sure you put it back exactly the way you had it. And then I think that's pretty much where we're at right now. And we're gonna keep going. Just wanted to give you guys an update so you could follow along if you're tearing your car apart at the same speed. So yep, tool wise, pretty simple, 10, 12, 14 on the sockets. Phillips and flathead there, and then you need your wrenches over here and something to mark, and that pretty much covers it so far. There's going to be some specialty tools, especially when you take off these squeeze clamps and get to this area here, which is 8mm, to take that off. So we're going to have to take that off, and I think we're going to keep going. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a little bit of thunder in the background. So we're going to try to get a move on. And if not, we will wait until the rain stops to continue. But yeah, we're moving right along. Okay, so we got the turbo out. Okay, and immediately I see coolant, I see sludge on the inside ports here. And that is definitely not good, but I could tell that the head gasket blew between one of these two ports. So we're gonna see what's what once we get this head off. So completely got that out. We got paper in there, just regular filth. We need that O-ring. Alrighty. And yep, everything looks pretty standard. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna continue to start working on this intake manifold, and again, try to beat out the rain and take it from there. So yep, let's keep going. Okay, so you wanna mark as much as possible, again, for obvious reasons, to make sure you put it back exactly as it came apart. So that being the vacuum nightmare that all Starion owners have to deal with. So we have these two. We also have these three that go down to this EGR diaphragm. 1, 2. And then there's a third one back down here in this vacuum jungle. Then we have 4 that connect here, the 3 right in front. Then there's 1 at the bottom that goes all the way over here, all the way to the other side. So that, we already disconnected the throttle cable. We unplugged all of the plugs, so those are good to go. And let me see, we have a vacuum hose down here that we have to disconnect. That one is a coolant hose. Still have to do that one. And then I think we have a ground wire down here also. Here's one of them. There should be 2. This wire has to be disconnected. So there's that, and the distributor plug right down there. All right, all that stuff has to be disconnected. So, all right, we're gonna do that. And yeah, we should be good to go as far as moving towards the removal of the head. Because after this stuff is disconnected, we're gonna go ahead and pop open the valve cover, and we're gonna take loose the timing chain bolt in the front, which we're gonna use a little impact. But before we do that, we're gonna put an end time, which we're very close. That gear needs to be at pretty much 11 o'clock. So this will be like right about here, aimed at this bolt. So we're real close. And then we're gonna remove the distributor. Then we're going to loosen up the bolts and take the head out. So not too far off. But yep, let's dive in and keep going. Okay, so when checking for timing mark, make sure you lighten up the area so you can see. So we have a flashlight on the subject, and you mark your pulley. So this one was not marked, so I had a heck of a time trying to find the timing mark, but if you zoom in, there's a little gash in between all of that yellow mess. As long as you can signify where top dead center is. Let's get a little closer. As long as you can signify where the top dead center is where the T. And when it comes to mechanical timing, you want to make sure it's on the T. Okay. And then when you're doing your ignition timing, you want to go 10 degrees B before top dead center, BTDC. Okay, that's like the rule of thumb for these engines. So, mechanical, straight to the T. Ignition, 10 degrees before, so BTDC. All right, so we're far from doing ignition currently, but I got it all marked out and we're good to go. The engine's on top dead center. I can also tell so because it's aimed directly at the screw or directly at this nugget. Either one of these is correct timing. Okay, and if you look at it this way, that's 11 o'clock. So that's perfect. Okay, so we got the valve cover off, and immediately we could see it's fairly clean, not too bad, but one of the downfalls I do see is we have the squishy lifters, no mechanical rockers. I do see we have ARP head bolts here, which is a plus, but it looks like a lot of them are put in upside down. The Allen head is supposed to be facing up, so we don't know if they actually seated these all the way down properly. So we're gonna replace these with some fresh new ones anyway, so we'll be taking these out. Also, when taking out the head, of course, besides taking out the head bolts, you want to make sure you remove these two 12s down here, otherwise the head will not come out. Also, before you can remove the 12, you want to make sure that you remove the timing chain. There should be a holder right there to make sure the cam gear doesn't fall down and you lose your timing and have to really take the engine apart. So we're going to take this guy out first, then the two 12s, then the head bolts, and technically we should be able to lift this sucker out. Alrighty, so let's see what we could do. Okay, that came off perfect, but I took the pin out of here. It's an alignment pin. You want to pay attention to how your alignment pin is. I've seen the pins all different kinds of ways, from individual pins to one smooth solid pin. Make sure you take that out, because when we swap the head, we're not sure how the pin design is going to be on the new head. So just make way for that and we'll keep it pushing from there. So let's take out the bolts down here, and then we'll be able to take the main bolts out and hopefully lift the head and see what's what. And another observation, I just realized that this head is non-jetted. So looks like someone has been here before completely and swapped out the head at some point. But they most likely ended up not using the proper head gasket, because the head gasket is blown, and they ended up using the squishy lifter rocker assembly instead of the solid, which we all know the solid rockers are way better. So we're gonna compare the two heads and see what's what. but we're definitely going to use a new one. So let's take our, I think this is a 12 point, and we're gonna loosen all of these bad boys up and take them out and lift this head up, see what we're dealing with. All right. Wow, okay, I didn't even get that far. I loosened this one, and this one, and they are hand tight, okay? This one I haven't loosened yet. Let's see. Oh yeah, nope, that is not torqued down at all. These are not supposed to be hand tight. Look at this, that's not, nope. Let's see, oh, this one's got a little bit more, but I've got to say, out of a range of 0 to 100 foot-pounds, that had to be 20 foot-pounds on just that screw. This one felt like it was nudge tight like that, so that was probably 3 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, that one felt like 35 foot-pounds. That one, no foot-pounds. That came loose like nothing. That one wasn't even tight. Okay, and this one wasn't tight at all. Wow, okay. Well, that explains a lot. Make sure you torque down your head studs. When you purchase ARP head bolts, they come with torque specifications. You can do them in 3 steps, 4 steps, however many steps, as long as you get to the desired torque specification. So that could have been one of the main reasons why this head gasket blew. So yeah, that's a big no-no. Okay, so let's finish taking these out and get the head up, and let's see what's what. Okay, we got the head lifted, and we have a nice flavor of milkshake here. And it looks like we might have a Felpro head gasket. And yeah, yuck. This is definitely gonna need to get cleaned up. Yep, and oil change and cleaned up some more. Let's peel up this head gasket and see what we got going on underneath. Even though the head bolts weren't tight, it seems like the gasket was on there pretty decently. It's not like just sitting there. Yeah, it's on there pretty good. So there we go. Well, would you look at that? We'll definitely need that to guide the head back on. We'll make sure the one that is over here is there too. Alrighty. Probably gonna need 2 hands for this. Let me see if I can work some magic here. Nope, definitely gonna need 2 hands. All right, so I'll be back and we'll pull this gasket. Okay, so pulled the gasket. Looks pretty basic, and looks really old. And if you could smell the smell that's coming from this, it smells pretty cooked, which is a bad thing, which also leads me to believe that this head is probably warped, because it seems like it overheated for a good amount of time. Of course, I'm not sure how long, but definitely a good amount of time. So we're gonna have to clean up these cylinders. The walls look fairly decent. Can't get a good look with the level of milkshake we got going on here, but yeah, I'm gonna clean this up and see what we could do. All right, and here we have on the table this head with a lot of water shooting out of it. Alrighty, yep, pretty much on every single hole. And let's see if we can scooch this over so we could take a look at these cylinders just a little bit. Doesn't look too happy. Yeah, these look pretty good. That one looks rough. So this one looks pretty good. Wow, okay. Interesting. All right, well, good thing we're not using this thing no more. Yep, good thing. Okay, well, so what we're gonna do is, yeah, we're gonna scrap this one, and we're going to go with a fresh new head. So stay tuned. We're gonna knock more of this out.